Hello everyone, this dictation is from GD BIST, volume number 4. Speed will be 95 words per minute. So, be ready for the dictation. 5 seconds. Start. Sir, if they address the 560 million people of this country, then one wonders whether their appeal can reach the ears of these 30% agricultural laborers who inhabit the rural areas of this country. Mr. Vice Chairman, we are talking of agricultural development. We are not talking of agricultural development in the 14th century. We are talking of agricultural development in the second half of the 20th century. We talk of technology and science. Every day we hear talks on this subject. My friend speaks enthusiastically about it, and the former planning minister seems to be very devoted to it. Everybody is inclined to say that science and technology should be developed. Sir, no country can develop without modernization. No modernization is possible without education. Have we done anything for that? Has any attempt been made by the Planning Commission to that end? We are a superstitious society. We are a society tradition bound. We have got conservative nations. Our people have more faith in God rather than in efforts. Now, the Planning Commission and the government thinks that instead of reposing their faith in God, they should repose it in planning and development. Unless and until you make the people literate, unless and until you make them aware of their difficulties and make them aware of the situation that is operating in the country and outside the country, it is not possible to have their willing cooperation in planned development. Sir, if you see the figure of the literacy, they are just shocking. After 26 years of independence, what is the situation about literacy today? In 1951, 6 crore people were literate and 30 crore people were illiterate in the country. It means 16% literate, of which 24% were male and 7% were female. In 1961, about 10 crores were literate and 33 crores were illiterate. That means 40% male and 28% female are literate in the country. In aggregate, what does the picture indicate? There are more than 10 crore additional literates in this country after independence. This is the achievement to which I shall like to draw the attention of my dear friend. But who wants to modernize the society, and who wants the cooperation of these 70% illiterate people? It is true that 20 crore people more have become illiterate than what was the position in 1947. Sir Mahatma Gandhi, when he came to the politics of this country, our revered friend, will bear me out, made a plan on a national scale that every social worker will have to go to the villages to take part in adult education. I have been pleading in this house again and again, even at the point of being considered as cynic, but there has been no response from any quarter. I pleaded with the education minister. I pleaded with the planning minister twice. Sir, I welcome this bill regarding the takeover of the company. Last time, while discussing the taking over of the management of Burn and Company Limited and Indian Standard Wagon Company Limited, I had mentioned some of the points, their difficulties, and the remedies thereof. Sir, on the floor of this house, we have been mostly hearing that public sector projects are running at a loss. We should go deep into the whole problem and find out the differences in running of a public sector project and a private sector project and the reasons therefore. I can cite two or three examples where public sector projects are doing very well. Sir, let us look at the problem from different angles. From the angle of management, from the angle of labor, from the angle of raw materials, etc. You will find that there are several factors which are responsible for the difference in the working of a public sector project and a private sector project. Let us first of all take management. On the management side, we find that public sector has got certain limitations. Limitations about payment of salaries of supervisors and workers and so on. Now, these limitations are not present in a private sector project. A private sector organization can offer its top officer a salary of rupees 4,000, a house rent of rupees 2,000, car allowance of another rupees 1,000, and an entertainment allowance of rupees 25,000 and so on. A private sector organization can in fact offer much more than what a public sector organization can offer. In the present day world, we have got a competitive market for everything. Duly qualified talent and technical hands run to private sector projects. Now, this anomaly will have to be stopped. It will have to be curtailed. There must be a ceiling on the salaries, benefits, and perquisites of both the public sector and private sector management. A public sector organization can offer its top man only, say, rupees 3,000. These things should be looked into very closely by the government. I sincerely hope that government will soon come forward with legislation providing for a ceiling on the salaries, perquisites and total emoluments of persons doing same type of work in similar organizations. Until and unless we do that, I am afraid better type of boys and better type of talent will always go to the private sector and will not be available to the public sector. Secondly, sir, I come to raw materials. In the raw materials, we find that most of the time the public sector is running short of raw materials. During certain periods, they go dry. The plants remain idle, but the private sector has an advantage because the private sector can go at once in the black market and they can purchase at whatever the current price. They can buy all the raw materials in order to keep their plants feeding and they keep them moving.